Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I read that wrong. I suffer from chronic PTSD. That is a good one. That's actually a pretty interesting one. And I think I can help with that, my friend. And I'm gonna tell you how. So we as men, we experience lows and we experience highs. Okay. And us experiencing the lows is part of what the journey is about. And us also experiencing, no pun intended, the highs is also what we experience. And the thing that I would have to say for this individual, if it was me, is I would, first of all, you being aware that you suffer from chronic PTSD is already a plus. And we got to get in therapy. Like, we got to figure that out, right? And that's something we have to do. But I would say number one is we have to replace whatever it is you've been using to medicate with something else. Because you're not going to be able to just, straight throw that away and expect something like nothing to fill that void. Like, this what happens when you quit an addiction, when you stop using, and in this case, I'm assuming it's marijuana, but you get into a point where you're going to start to stop using and replace it with something else, preferably something that's not another choice of drug or something like that. So what are we going to use to replace this? If you haven't already, I would get into a support group. I'm pretty sure there are support groups online. There's probably some in your community that you can reach out to and find, and you could all get together and talk. That's one form of filling the void. Another form that you can do if you're already addicted to it, and by the way, I'm no doctor or super professional, but it's just from what I've seen people do, is I've seen people, slowly start back to reduce the usage and also at the same time filling the void. So, he says he cleared, 5 grams in a day. Well, how about we start tracking it back to 4.5, or we start identifying triggers. And then instead of, maybe smoking a bowl, that maybe what we do is we exercise. And every time that we want to smoke a bowl or something like that, we go for a walk. And this could be some way that you deal with it. But, this is all like logistically speaking, if this is possible, because I don't know what your triggers are and I don't know what it is that you're going through that is causing this, So it's kind of hard to say, but that's one way I would start. And you also talk about breathing exercise. Like, I got a gym behind me. You can do all your gym stuff and things like that. You can get a bicycle. But I think exercising and honestly start working through these steps. I mean, you can stabilize, like clean your room, clean your home, clean your car, get organized. Like, these are all things that you can do instead of smoking a bowl, because that involves you, number one, it's going to clear your mind. That's why I put this as step number one. It's to stabilize the brain, stabilize the body, stabilize the mind, and the soul. So we clean up, we organize our area, because that's the first thing we see. We see our area and then we open it up, and then you open your eyes. And if everything is organized, it's automatically going to bring you a little bit more clarity, a little bit more clairvoyance or something like that. Cleaning your car, it's the same thing. Your car is an extension of your house. So, having a clean car, having, clean environment, even when you're traveling to and from work, going to and from the store, being in a clean, organized, smelling good vehicle is going to ease your anxiety, and it's going to help with your, with your PTSD, my friend. Unless the car was the thing that caused your accident, or caused it to be like that. That could be a different story, but I'm just giving you, if I was in this situation, what I would do. Going for a walk, this is once again something else that you can put in place of smoking. You can put that in place of that. Like, you can come up, you can say, instead of smoking a bowl, I'm going to go for a walk. And if it's raining or if it's cold and you don't want to go outside, then we need to get a treadmill, just a simple walking treadmill. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk. We're going to get the little tiny weights. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go and we're going to walk. We're going to walk it out, man. We are going to walk it out. And why are we going to walk it out? We're going to walk it out because we have to replace these things with something else. That's why. Then we're going to secure work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to secure a job. We're going to secure our future. We're going to secure making money, positive, consistent income streams. Because for all I know, I don't know him, but I'm telling you that if you follow these guidelines, it's organized like this for a reason, because it's going to take you through the steps of number one, conquering, owning your PTSD. It's going to create peace, not only in your brain, but in your area. And then once you create the peace, then you're going to go to other places. You're going to get in that clean car and you're going to go to work. And then you're going to be like, man, you know what? I'm a little less stressed today, because being in a home like that, it creates nothing but stress, anxiety, and all of those things around it. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I would say that you can do. That's definitely going to help you, like, pretty much immediately, to be honest, like almost immediately. So you secure work, you got money coming in, and now we got to control the money, right? We do our expenses. We find our, we do our Excel sheet, we get our pen and paper out, we write our budget, and we spend money in the places that we need to spend it. So like in a guy like this, he needs to be spending money on therapy. BetterHelp. I'm not sponsored by BetterHelp. Not yet, but if you're interested, you reach out to me. But anyway, BetterHelp, no, seriously, BetterHelp it's a pretty good platform to do it online if, you might be in a region that doesn't really have the therapy like that. So you can always do it that way and it should be fine. All right. What else we got here? Yeah. And forge a brotherhood. So like I said earlier, if you have an addiction, there is a support group out there for you. I promise, I can almost guarantee you there's a support group out there that will, help you get there. All right. The next thing we have on that, right? We're going to build skills. Building skills through our brotherhood, through where we put the money. We're going to build skills. We're going to network. We're going to talk to people. We're going to read, and we are going to get better at something. We're going to get better. We're going to keep ourselves occupied, not sitting around smoking weed. Then we're going to strengthen our mind through therapy, through meditation, through a spiritual journey. If you're not a Christian, if you're not religious, whatever the case may be, then this is the point where you would start seeing that. You'd start seeking that, and then you'll start getting to knowing yourself. You'll get into regulating things. You'll get into being who it is that you want to be and need to be. And then on top of that too, once we get there, now we start creating a vision, right? Like for me, right? My vision is I want to help people through YouTube. I want to help men that are, struggling just like this guy right here. And just like men that feel lost, you don't know how to get where you want to go. I want to help you get there. That's why I'm doing these live streams. This is what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. And there it is. We make money. We serve a community. We give back. And this is what it's all about. It's not about, being billionaires or millionaires and blah, blah, blah. It's about completing the journey, right? But everybody has to start with step number one. And that's what step number one is for this man here.